Another crab's treasure almost instantly sunk its fishhooks into me within the first couple hours of playing it. But like a harpoon to the heart, the deeper I dove into its depths, the more and more apparent its flaws became. Now, I know the harpoon thing doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I did want to get as many ocean references and puns in as I could before we do talk about the overpolluted, murky waters of Another Crab's Treasure. When I first saw the trailer for this game, I was instantly intrigued as it's a completely different aesthetic than pretty much any other Souls-like I've ever seen. Gone are the dark, somber hues of dead and dying worlds. Instead, we get to explore a wonderfully vibrant ecosystem that's thriving with life from all kinds of underwater species. While the litter from us asshole humans cover the ocean floor, these crabs, shrimp, fish, and other creatures have come to view it as gifts from us and have built their cities using our waste. They have houses made of cereal boxes, doors made with playing cards, and sponges act as trampolines to boost us to hard-to-get areas. The main protagonist, Krill, uses a two-pronged fork as his main weapon, and can even turn a lot of the trash he finds into temporary shells, but we'll cover those a little bit later. The story begins with a pesky tax collector swinging by Krill's home on the beach, requesting payment for the local duchess. Unfortunately for Krill, he is unable to pay these taxes, which results in his shell being confiscated. He then takes off after it in the hopes to retrieve it, and discovers that the ocean is not such a nice place. In fact, many creatures have gone a bit crazy, causing him to become extremely aggressive, including the Duchess whom he owes his taxes to. After defending himself and slaying this very Duchess, he sets off for the city in search of his shell. Not only does he locate the thief who stole it, he also arrives just in time for Trash Day, which is basically when a big new fresh pile of trash comes piling down from above. This Trash Day, however, is special and comes with a torn up cereal box with a small portion of a treasure map remaining. Krill works out a deal with the new owner of his home and sets forth to retrieve the remaining map pieces and trade the treasure for his beloved home. To avoid spoilers, I won't go any deeper into this story, but I will say I just found it very okay for the most part. It didn't do anything wrong, but it didn't wow me either, and I was never on the edge of my seat waiting for what came next. The characters outside of Krill were mostly forgettable, and you never really become invested to any of them. All the interactions felt extremely shallow. I'll give this one some credit though. There were some funny lines here and there, and this game never took itself too seriously. There was a lot of ocean-esque cursing, like "cod damn it" and "ghoul shit." I even got to fight an eel who used a vibrator to attack me, which earned a good chuckle. Additionally, while this is a Souls-like game, it doesn't take itself too seriously in that regard either. It has a lot of difficulty settings that make it possible just to walk through this game. You can decrease the damage you take, eliminate it even, increase your damage output, and even strap a 9mm handgun to your back and shoot your enemies with it. With that said, the actual Souls-like premise of this game is a bit of a mixed bag of seashells. I'm sorry, I can't turn it off. It controls very much like one you've played before. You have your standard light attacks, charge attacks, you can roll and even parry. Where I have issues with this one is the weird difficulty spikes. Now I know Souls-likes are supposed to be hard, but the bosses were kind of tuned all over the place. Some were extremely easy to read, took decent damage, and didn't do an outrageous amount to you. Others, well, they would nearly kill you in one hit, have unrelenting attack patterns, and some mechanics that just left you frustrated. One mechanic I really enjoyed, however, was the shell mechanic. There were shells to be found all over the ocean floor: soda cans, human skulls, shot glasses, computer mice, and more. Each shell had a unique skill to it, and I was always excited to try a new one out when I found it. Along your journey, you also found different magic attacks and melee attacks. These range from big claw-like swipes that do a lot of stagger damage to your enemy, or even creating a shell out of magic if you're without one. The leveling and class building system were simple but solid. You can put skill points into Vitality, Resistance, which increased the defense of your shells, Humani, which was your magic, and Attack. Also, you can unlock new skills and attacks with crystals you found along the way. Now let's put our goggles on and take a dive into the poo of this game. Ugh, I really should have stopped with those. The bugs plagued this one so very badly. I had enemies grab me and we both fall through the floor. I got stuck often and would have to insta-kill myself, or there would be times when you fall through the map and it would put you back somewhere where you couldn't do anything but kill yourself and start over. I played this on the PS5 and it had some absolutely horrible stuttering issues, which did cause a few deaths. It often happened when I was going into an area, the game would stutter, but my poor crab would keep going. I ended up falling off a cliff or right into an enemy with no way or time to react. For such a graphically simple game, there was simply no excuse for the stuttering issues in my opinion. With all that said, I can't possibly recommend this game at full price to anyone until they clean some of these bugs up. If the story hit a bit harder, It would have been easier to look past some of these issues, but with the inconsistencies and difficulties and the vast amount of bugs, $30 is just a little too much for this title. It is on Game Pass though, and if you have an active subscription and enjoy Souls-like, it's probably worth at least checking out. For a score, this gets a 6 out of 9 for me. It has a great premise and is a fresh take on the Souls genre, but unfortunately, they just forgot to set the hook. Thanks for watching, everybody. Shimmy signing out.